Hey guys, this is Chris from Rekkid Talk, and so this week I'm doing my first Clem Snide video. And so this was inspired by Chris Burt. This CD is something that I'd gotten in a VCLT gift package from him. Um, there's your soundtrack, so you've got some pretty clever song titles there. So this album's called End of Love, came out on Spin Art Records 2005. The leader of the group is a guy with a very unusual name, if it will focus, Eve Barzilay. And so that's the top person there. And so um, now, okay, what I probably should have done is I probably should have done the Macca CD, Paul and Linda McCartney Ram, because people like to watch videos of stuff they already own and like and know about. But I'm going to do Clem Snide because I'd never listened to Clem Snide before. I'm suspecting most of you haven't either. I know Chris Burt likes him. So first of all, when you're filing this in your record collection, we know that's very important. If you use the Robert Fifth and Professional system, you're going to file this under C, not S, because there's nobody in the band named Clem Snide. Just like, for example, you would file this Frank Smith album. So this is a fellow Boston area alt country act. So that's okay, Clem Snide. You're going to have sort of this alternative country Americana sound. So this album, Frank Smith, Heavy Handed Love, Heavy Handed Peace and Love from 2007. There's nobody in the band named Frank Smith. You file it under F. It's like the Marshall Tucker Band. All right. So now we got that squared away. Let's talk about Clem Snide. They've put out several albums. This isn't their first one. I don't remember off the top of my head exactly what order it was in their discography, but it's sort of like I'll describe it as Wilco meets Cracker meets They Might Be Giants. The They Might Be Giants part is more for the clever, quirky lyrics and the actual sound of the band. Wilco and Cracker is going to be more in terms of how the music's going to sound. So your first song, your title song, End of Love, you got some twangy lyrics, kind of Uncle Tupelo-ish. No one will survive the end of love. It's kind of a very earnest, emotional song. And reading up about the band, apparently they were more of smartasses. Um, the songwriter earlier in his career. And we're actually going to see some of that in the later songs as well. Um, and probably the most striking thing about this record for me is that it's one of those that if you're listening to it in the background, you're not paying any attention to the lyrics. I don't really think you're getting the full impact. I think the clever, quirky lyrics are kind of the strength of this album, maybe the strength of the band altogether. I haven't listened to any of their other material besides this CD. So, Fill Me With Your Light, the third track. I prefer You Don't Remove Your Gloves. It's sort of country poppy, that particular song. Song number 4 is called The Sound of German Hip Hop. And they talk about mathematicians swapping partners at a club called Noah's Ark. Very clever, quirky lyrics. That continues on song 5, which might be my favorite song. Tiny European Cars. The tiny European cars are fueled by Spanish wine. They tell you that Isaac Newton died a virgin in the song, in case you didn't know that. Um, I don't know if that's true or not. Song number 6 is called the Jews for Jesus Blues. Um, Now that I'm found, I miss being lost. That's a pretty clever, smart-assy lyric. God Answers Back, song number 7. So there's a bit of a religious theme, not in a heavy-handed way. So you got some light distortion, some banjo. I think there's some vibraphone, some vibes going on in the background. Another real clever song is song number 9, the made-for-TV movie, which is kind of a uh, not so idyllic look at the life of Lucille Ball. Um, he beat her like she was a conga drum because I think there was some abuse in the relationship They always slept in separate beds, but somehow had a son. That's another lyric from it. And then the final song's called Weird, and they sing about you're not as weird as you'd like me to think. So if you want something that's sort of like a alt countrified version of They Might Be Giants with really sort of clever lyrics, you might like Clem Snide. And remember, when you get Clem Snide, file it under C for Chris Burt, not S for Snide or Smartass. I forgot to give you the hint for next week. The hint for next week is Mystery Ed.